all living in the age of a social world that heretofore we could have never imagined. I sat behind the curtain and listened to the origins of your organization, founded in the same year that I graduated from Brown University, at a time when, to do my honors thesis in sociology, we needed a card reader. And I was sitting back there working on 2 BlackBerries, managing an office, one in London, one in New York, also managing my Facebook account, trying to figure out who was doing what in my home, and thinking, you know what, maybe the old days were really a lot better, because there's something completely broken about the fact that I no longer read a print newspaper, because I'm reading about 1,000 newspapers a day using a series of Google alerts that are self-creating a newspaper for me based on about 400 topics I'm interested in. And that really is the social mind that we are living in. We're living in an age, too, of trialogues. It used to be dialogues. I could come and talk with one of you, and it would be a conversation. It would be a great conversation. I could speak to a colleague. I could speak to a friend. Today, that conversation is great, but that's controlled. And we don't really live in an age of any kind of control anymore. The world's totally out of control. What really matters is not what a newspaper reporter says or what a published report, a restaurant review says. What actually matters is the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 18th report, that trialogue, that pass along. All the conversations that I, as a futurist, participated in for the last 15 years about convergence, and we missed the big one. Life met work. There is no more privacy between those 2 boxes in your world. If you think there is, I think you're fooling yourself. Life met work for the ultimate convergence. Your professional identity, your personal identity, maybe there's one little space, there's a pair of shoes you only wear in the workplace. But I think that's about the only boundary left. Your work friends become your personal friends. What you learn at work becomes how you influence yourself at home. If you are a CIO in the workplace, you're in charge of your computing at home. If you are learning something new at home, you bring it to work. Your children are your advisors at home, you're bringing that learning into the workplace. The market research you do when you're pushing your cart in the supermarket impacts how you make business decisions. This blending and blurring, we are not compartmentalized, we are human, and social media builds on our humanity. And this ultimate convergence is really making us very, very different. It is helping us to simplify, even though in many ways it complicates with new emotions. We're looking for products that are more simple. We're walking around with devices that keep things simple and yet keep them very, very complicated, because there's no keeping home out of life, home out of work, work out of life. There's no more closing the office. We're also learning to be observers as well as participants, because we've learned in the SoMe space, it's really good to listen. You don't always have to speak up. That listening and lurking and stalking, slurking around makes a lot of sense too. And so we're learning how to develop different kind of listening skills because we're not using our ears. So just like this is talking, we're listening with our eyes. So again, a lot more convergence. We call this listening, but we're not using our ears. We're just digesting what people are saying with their fingers, what they've been posting. So all kinds of new language skills happening. And yes, we do feel the need to unplug. There's almost no place to go. And if Intel and the others would have their way, there'll be no place left on the planet pretty soon. So we're also living in a place where everyone is just a clicker away. And that means that whether they're good, they're bad, or they're both, we need to have all of our senses going so that we can judge absolutely everything in real time at all times. So we have new antenna going to sort of keep ourselves in this SoMe space at all times. No longer a need to be apologetic about the fact we're always connected. Everybody's always connected. It's the great secret that's finally bubbling up. Thank you.